The chairwoman could never have imagined that her beloved daughter-in-law had not only killed her son, and had even attempted to kill her to seize the family inheritance. Instead, the former daughter-in-law, whom she had despised and driven out of the house, hurriedly came to save her. She told her former daughter-in-law to leave immediately, but the woman had come today to save her mother-in-law's life. She hoped that as long as her mother-in-law lived, she could avenge the death of her husband. However, both of them ended up being killed. In her final moments, the chairwoman was filled with regret. When she opened her eyes again, she was astonished to find that she had been reborn a year earlier. Suddenly, the butler rushed in anxiously and said a major crisis had arisen. At that moment, the woman was in an argument with her husband's first love. The first love was trying to replace the woman as the chairwoman's daughter-in-law. When the first love saw the man approaching, she deliberately threw herself to the ground. Then she falsely accused the woman of having just hit her. Without asking for the reason, the man blamed his wife for being in the wrong. This made the woman extremely angry. Since that was the case, she simply slapped the first love in front of the man. She declared that the first love, who had ruined another person's marriage, deserved to be hit. But the man and his first love had been childhood sweethearts, even though the woman and the man were legally married. In the first love's eyes, the unloved wife was still the third party. The man even filed for divorce from the woman. He said that the first love had taken care of him for 2 months after his car accident. Therefore, he would never abandon his first love. In fact, it was the woman who had carried her husband out of the wrecked car, and who had taken care of him meticulously for 2 months. But now the first love had the audacity to claim credit for the woman's deeds. The husband would not believe the woman's words. After all, the woman had never mentioned this in the 3 years since. The woman explained that she did not bring it up because she loved him. She did not want him to relive those dark, helpless days. At that time, he had lost his sight in the accident. It was the woman who had voluntarily donated her corneas to restore his sight. Unexpectedly, the man believed the first love's lies. He always thought it was the first love who had donated her corneas. He found the fact that the woman could still see completely unconvincing. In fact, it was the woman's mother who had donated her corneas to her. The man thought it was ridiculous to hear these explanations, so he took out the divorce papers and demanded that the woman sign them. Just as the woman refused, the chairwoman happened to come in. In the previous life, she had driven the woman out of the house, and had arranged for her son to marry his first love. In the end, it had led to the ruin of the family and death all around. Reborn, she decided to treat her daughter-in-law well. She resolved never to let her daughter-in-law suffer any harm again, so she publicly announced that only the woman was her daughter-in-law. Then she severely scolded the first love. This left her son utterly confused. After all, his mother had always supported the first love before. Then the chairwoman demanded that her son cut ties with the first love. Seeing things were going badly, the first love immediately pretended to feel dizzy. The man intended to take his first love to the hospital. The mother threatened that if he stepped out of the house today, she would sever their mother-son relationship forever. But the man mistakenly believed it was the first love who had saved him that year, so he would rather abandon his mother than be apart from the first love. Afterwards, the woman accompanied her parents to the hospital for a checkup. Unexpectedly, the woman discovered that she was pregnant. On the other side, the man was overjoyed to learn that the first love was pregnant, but he did not know that the child was not his. The chairwoman was delighted to hear the news that her daughter-in-law was pregnant.